Okay, another important role of human resource department is to draft and enforce employment policies, especially in terms of enforcing policies on their employees. So employment policies they are informed by current laws but go beyond minimum requirements. That means beyond minimum requirements will help to define a positive organizational culture and set high standard for performance. So in order to be effective, these policies, whatever policies that the organizations adopts or develop should be enforced in order to be effective. Another thing that relates to human resource department's role is managing work-life conflict. So nowadays, because husband and wife also working, so there will be a problem in terms of balancing their times at work and at home, looking after the children. So work-life conflicts actually gain momentum in 1980s as a result of increasing entry of women in the workforce, because women traditionally they look after the children. So when they also join the workforce, there will be some conflicts in terms of who gonna look after the children and also need also to perform the work or the jobs. So it is important for the human resource department, because employees problems in terms of well-being, welfare of the employees have been under the control of human resource, or under the responsibility of human resource departments. So it is important for human resource departments, in order to manage work-life conflict among their employees, to keep the workloads reasonable, so that it's not really too long. It is important to make sure that the workloads need to be done within, for example, 9 to 5, not beyond than 5 p.m., for example. So keeping work loads reasonable could reduce problems with work-life conflicts, and also to reduce work-related travel, because when parents have children, if they have to travel too much, so they will indirectly abandon their children. So this will create more work-life conflict. So human resource department should try to reduce work related traveling of their employees, especially those who have children, and also need to offer on-site quality childcare, example of practice that could help manage work-life conflict. Sometimes the parents, I mean the employees who have children, they do not have like someone to look after the children. If the organization provide, for example, on site or the nursery or the child care that close to the organizations or to the office, so easy for their employees to go and pick up the children, or send to the children before they go to work or after they finish work. So however, different people prefer different solutions. Some people they prefer instead of having a childcare close by to the office, they prefer to be given some, for example, flexible in terms of working arrangements. They prefer the organization to provide better segments of work. For example, provide them with flex time. That means come work late or finish work late. If they come work late, they need to go late, or they come early, finish early. Or job sharing, we discussed this in previous slides regarding job sharing. Share the jobs with the other similar colleagues, for example, or do part-time. This also could make them be able to spend time with children. Or also, the organization may perhaps allocate allowing employees to schedule work hours less. For example, less maybe 3 days per week, for example, could also be able to reduce conflict with their personal responsibilities, especially if they have children or if they have parents, older parents to look after. So some employees also prefer, for example, instead of having flex time, job sharing, part times, some employees prefer to integrate work and personal life, such as even though they have to go to work, they prefer their children's to be looked after at the childcare. That's not far away from the office or close by or to their office, or the organization provides specific childcare for the employees, for their employees. So maybe they prefer that way instead of just focusing totally on the children. They also need to work, so having the second alternative, for example, integrate work and personal life at the same time, or perhaps they need to have gym facilities so that they can bring the children at the same time, do some exercising, or maybe even though they have to work or participate in organization activities, but still they can bring their children together with the activities that's sponsored by the organization, could be preferable for certain employees. So organization need to provide different kind of solutions depend on the employee's need in order to avoid work-life conflict. So regarding the mediations, that's mean when the employees are having problems among themselves, HR sometimes have to take part to mediate to mediate the problems involving employees, or sometimes when employees have involved in some disciplinary problems, they have to terminate the employees because of the problems, and sometimes because of the not because of the employees problem, that's employees themselves cause the problem, but because of the problem regarding the organization, maybe because of less profit they receive from the investments, they have to downsize, so the organization has to lay off some of the employees. So this also mediation, termination, and layoff consider important role of human resource department. Human resource have to deal with this. So in terms of mediation, human resource department often takes a center stage. That means they often acts as a mediator when unpleasant events happen, such as disputes among employees or between department to another department, or substandard performance or unfair evaluation and so on, or even if downsizing occurs and when there's the problems, or even when terminations and layoff I mentioned previously, that's human resource need to take their role in order to solve all these problems. So employees also need to be able to trust their human resource professional, that means officers coming from resource HR departments, to maintain appropriate confidentiality and balanced perspective. Even though human resource department is part of the organization department, the professions, that means the officers in that human resource departments need also to look after the employees' welfare. They have to be confidential in dealing with the employees and in dealing with the organization. So they are the centers. They are the focus that represent the employees and also represent the organization. So they should take a balanced perspective instead of just siding with the organization or with the employees. They have to take the middle stage in order when dealing with the employees and organizations. So managers, it is important because to improve so that the employees will trust the human resource officers. If the human resource officers or human resource department didn't only acts on behalf of the organizations, didn't really act on behalf of the employees will not trust human resource to deal with their problems. So here managers need to be able to trust human resource too. Not only employees, they need to trust human resource, and managers. Managers is part of the organization, need also to trust human resource, to know the laws and represent the company perspective. So the human resource professional, that means employees or officers from the human resource department, should be well trained in terms of mediating process, in terms of solving the process that involve employees and organizations, so that it will show that they can be trusted by employees and also organizations. So here is mentioned a human resource professional should be well trained in technique and rely upon the company policies to seek positive resolutions if the dispute happen between employees and the organization. It need to be based on the trust kind of propositions that employees could trust human resource department. Organization also should trust human resource department. So human resource professional or officers should take a confidential stand, should take a balanced stand in terms of this kind of role when dealing with the disputes and so on. So mediation, termination, layoff again. Sometimes human resource managers, because they are integral part of the termination process, because sometimes because employees did a problem in terms of maybe they involved in disciplinary problems, human resource department on behalf of the organization have to terminate these employees. So when employees are not able to resolve the conflicts with the management, sometimes because of other problems, not because of the disciplinary problems, human resource officers have to take the role on behalf of the organizations to resolve the issue. But if they cannot resolve the issue, they have to terminate. They have to find a best way. For example, especially it's related to disciplinary problems, they have to terminate the employees. So termination process are subjected to union level contract and laws. So even though human resource department acts as a behalf of organization to terminate the employees, human resource officers or human resource departments have to terminate the employees based on the laws that's stated in the union level contracts and law, or based that stated under union level laws or regarding contracts and law. They cannot just simply terminate employees without referring to the laws regarding employments. So in Spain, for example, labor law have traditionally protects all the workers. So in certain organizations, in certain countries, the laws actually protecting certain groups. So for example, the human resource management cannot just simply terminate certain people, for example, especially older employees, because all the employees are protected by labor law, especially in Spain. So in Spain they were given near guaranteed employments. That means all the employees are being guaranteed their employment. So only certain conditions such as disciplinary problems like stealing, like those kind of similar problems, only they can terminate the employees. For departing employees, that's for employees who are terminated, the human resource department are often the last stop for this kind of employees before they are leaving the organizations. So for those employees who are terminated or laid off, they have to sit for normally exit interviews, where the human resource representing the organization will ask the employees who are being terminated some information regarding that employees. So human resource managers are in charge of leaving a favorable impressions on this employee that been terminated or been laid off. So at the exit interviews, human resource managers or human resource officers normally will try to get informations or inputs that restore the good impression of the organizations. This is also more true when the organization terminate employees in layoff. So sometimes through the downsizing, no problem with the employees, but because the organization cannot pay salary, cannot provide the compensation anymore to the employees, so they have to lay off these employees. So they still need to provide a good relationship with the employees, because layoff employees normally they have done nothing wrong, but because of the organization need to reduce in size, so they have to lay off the employees. Later, when the organization becoming better, maybe their investment, their profit increase, they will need to hire these employees that they lay off, because there's nothing wrong with this employee. The organization lay off them because of organization problem, not because of the employees. But in terms of terminations, where employees been terminated because of disciplinary problems, normally they will not be rehired. But for those employees who have been laid off, termination through layoff, that means because of employee organization downsize, the employees maybe will be rehired when the organization